Hey Aries, Happy New Year. I hope yours is going well so far. Spirit had a really cool channeled message for you, and I know I've kept you waiting long enough, so I'll go over this pretty quick and we're going to jump right into your cards. But Spirit is putting a major focus on your status, your career, your destiny, specifically your place on the world stage, is how that they put it. Some of you you've reached a place, it's kind of like a point of no return, but in a really good way. Like you've had some realizations and oh my gosh, they're coming in so hot. We're going to get with the cards in just a second. Right now, there is a Pluto-Saturn conjunction happening in your 10th house, which is the house of career and destiny. So for them to be referring to how you are looking on the world stage says that it's time to reflect on that. It's time to reflect on what you want people to think of when they look at you. What is the word? What kind of adjectives do people use? What is your role on the world stage? Let's get into your cards. January 2020, baby. I'm not even going to say. I'm away. We're going to talk about it. Really fucking good, though. Let me just say that. Cheesy crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Pardon me, Aries. Part of the reason you're getting your I was going to call them horoscopes. Oh my God. You can go read these too, actually. Writteninthestars.co. That's my site. I keep forgetting to tell you guys I do things like write horoscopes. I'm into all of this stuff. Okay. So I was going to say, sorry, I'm actually getting over losing my voice. So if I sound a little bit cigarette-y, that's what that is. Okay. Wow. Aries, progress. Progress and wow, ultimately facing your fears. Listen, when we are in the light of the sun, when the spotlight hits, that's when the shadow is in stark relief, right? The shadow is darkest when the light is the brightest. So Aries, what do you want? Because you can absolutely have it. The only thing standing in your way in a big way is yourself. And this is not a judgment. This is actually really good news. Some of you have been uncharacteristically overthinking things a little bit. I feel like a lot of deep reflection, particularly on the past. And this can be good so long as it translates to action. But you don't want to sit in rumination this month. That's not going to serve you. There are some times when it is like, okay, time to reflect, time to just be at peace. For you, action is the cure for that analysis paralysis that some of you are enduring right now, and that's the word that I want to use. I'm not exaggerating when I say, what is it that you want to be on the world stage? Because you can absolutely be it, but you must begin. Page of Wands. The pages in tarot are like the children, right? And Aries is actually the infant of the zodiac. It's the baby. You're the first. You're the pioneer. And the Page of Wands is very pioneering. And they have a lot in common with this, with this figure in your future. And I love to see this there. They're not afraid. Just like you, Aries. They suit you. They're the beginners. They're the first ones on the dance floor. They're like, I don't care if you think I look stupid. I'm feeling the music. Or I don't care if you don't like what I'm doing. This is what I feel that I'm here to do. This is what I feel my role on the world stage is. I'm going to shine. Shine, shine, shine. The Fool and the Page of Wands are not afraid of taking imperfect steps forward, right? You've probably heard me say it before, Aries, because I love this philosopher so much, but the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Who gives a shit about the crabs in a bucket that might be thinking like, who are you promoting yourself? That's what I'm hearing for some of you. You might have like your own business or a side hustle, or you might be in some kind of creative field where it's imperative for you to be like, this is me, this is what I do, and kind of shout it from the rooftops. The Messenger. I think that some of you have to put to death a fear of being seen, which is interesting you know, you're normally, well, look, if you're making this big of a step forward, I feel like some of you, it's just like, I have big plans for 2020 and I've got no time to waste. They're bringing me back to what they were saying about like point of no return. That's how they mean it, is like, I've got these goals. I've got things I want to build. I've got somewhere that I would like to be by 2021. And if I'm going to do it, I have to look at what's been holding me back from it in the past. Which brings us to the center of your reading, Six of Cups. The card of the past, the card of childhood, the card of past connections in particular. What if I told you there are new and better cups, but first you've got to be willing to kind of give them to yourself, to nourish yourself. You've come so far, Aries. I feel like I have to tell you that. Spirit's also using the word Pisces now, so some of you might have Pisces placements, Pisces rising or Pisces moon. This has been an emotional journey. An emotional journey for you, and maybe that's part of what this overthinking is like, I'm not used to being swept away by my fucking feelings. Like, usually I can, you know, bombast my way through whatever, I can fire my way through whatever. You're going to be more than okay, Aries. Face the fear you have, and this is how they're putting it, okay? Face the fear you have and watch it die. I know, that's an extreme phrase that they're using, but here's how I'm getting it, okay? Face the fear and watch it die. Nine of Swords is known in tarot as the nightmare card. Nightmare because it's in your mind. It's paralyzing, it's terribly frightening, but it's all in your mind. That doesn't mean that you don't have valid fears. That doesn't mean that there aren't real, true things like, and this is actually going to be a useful exercise for you, okay? This is what they're saying about when you step into the spotlight, the shadow becomes really stark and deep. And that's when we see, oh, fuck, here's my fear of success, or here's my fear of failure, or here's my fear of disappointing mommy, daddy. If you're afraid of telling people that you have a goal, a purpose, a role, a status you see for yourself, face the fear and watch it die. Walk through the fire and find out that, oh, it didn't burn me. I'm fire. Fire can walk through fire. That's what Spirit is saying. So walk through the fire of your fear, Aries. If you're afraid of this could run the gamut, okay? This is a general reading, so every Aries, Aries dominant in the chart or sun, moon, rising is experiencing a kind of, well, I'm going to say again, a point of no return. I've got to be me. I've got to do for myself. I won't be alive forever. And I can feed my fear or I can feed my faith. And if I wish to improve, I must be content to be thought of as foolish and stupid. There are a lot of people who don't like tarot cards, spiritual stuff, blah, 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 blah. And here I am. I'm a little channel doing my thing. That's what Spirit is asking of you, Aries. To be like, fuck it. I don't care if it's not perfect. Slow and steady wins the race. Sometimes I forget because I'm an Aries, I'm fiery, like sometimes I forget, but slow and steady wins the race. Keep showing up for yourself. There's a bit of a balancing coming into your life when it comes especially to like money, work, and I'm feeling very specifically your routines. So how do you build your life? How do you construct your life, Aries? And are you intentional about it? Or do you kind of just like fly by the seat of your pants? Like, I feel like doing this today. I don't feel like doing that. Like, it feels like get a little bit solid because people are going to be looking at you. The sun and the world are like centerpieces of your reading. And this is what Spirit is saying now, so I'm just going to share it. For some of you, it's people from your past that are looking at you. So yes, you might have that person stalking your Instagram or your socials and looking at what you're doing. And so what if your glow up has, you know, a pinch of this came because of revenge? Like, yes, I want you to see this. Yes, I want you to see me fucking rocking out and being amazing. Fuck it. Go for it. Walk through the fire of your fear. You've come a long way already. You're so close to shore. You see these 9 wands? Torches. They're leading your way. And what are you? A torchbearer. What is it that you want to communicate to the world or share with the world? What is your skill, your talent, your gift that you want to share with the world, Aries? That's what this is. Look out, everybody. Listen the fuck up. I want the world to know that I'm not going to be afraid anymore. That's what Spirit just said. And that's applying a lot of different ways for a lot of you. And I'm hearing some pretty deep stuff. One of them is like, I'm going to share. I'm feeling for some of you, it's like, I'm going to share this traumatic or terrible experience that I had. I'm going to share this part of myself that is extremely vulnerable because that's my way of walking through the fire. You know, that feeling of if people knew this about me, they wouldn't love me, or they wouldn't whatever, or they would see me differently, yada, yada. You might have a diagnosis. You might have an experience that you're like, I'm publishing my book about this now, or I'm going to put this poem, or I'm going to write this status, or I'm going to make this video. There's a give and take. Whew. Aries, Spirit is saying, there is a give and a take here. And if you give a little of yourself, there are people around you who will give to you in return. So your vulnerability, your honesty will be honored. And I'm going to come back to what I said about some of your fears, not many, and that's just what I'm feeling. But some of your fears are valid, that some people may be turned off. They may indeed look at you like, oh, I can't help but see you differently now that you came out, or now that you told me you have borderline personality disorder, or now that you told me something catastrophic happened to you as a child or whatever. Some people will look at you differently. Well, guess the fuck what, Aries? You have been and always will be different. You are a standout. And those of us who stand out, what they say about, you know, the nail that sticks out, that can be true. But it's also true that those of us that stand out are the people who light the way, who carry the torch for the others. So for every cruddy comment or hateful message you might get from walking through the fire, you might not know 5 people that didn't have maybe the energy or the wherewithal or the courage to reach out to you and say like, damn, you sharing that about yourself, or you making this or this piece of work or whatever that you put up, that really resonated with me. And I think you should actually expect to get that positive feedback as well. Step forward and give of yourself a little bit, Aries. Do something you're a little bit afraid to do. It's one of your gifts, really. So, like I said, when I see the Fool, it's like Aries is one of the people that I think about. Stepping through the fire of your fear will be worth it because it offers you the world. If Spirit could part the clouds and Mufasa style tell you, hey, if you're willing to share this, do this, try this, whatever, imperfect beginning, imperfect step forward. Doesn't have to be like, oh, by the end of January, I've written a book. Like, no. But you can start an outline. You can start a Google Drive document that you don't tell anybody about, but you're facing your own fear and walking through the fire of saying, this is worth my time. Whatever it is for you that is a barrier between you and what you want, Spirit is like, what if we could part the clouds and tell you that if you do it, if you do walk through this fire, you're going to get something that you want very badly. And this is different for different Aries. It's a general reading. But what is like the top of the world? What is the sense of like, hello, enlightenment, understanding? Like, holy shit. I was so unclear about where I was trying to go, but as soon as I started, it's weird how stuff started to clarify. It's weird how once I walked through the fire of the fear and that big blindfold, that big blind spot between me and what I want, as soon as I take a step toward it, it kind of dissolves. It kind of pushes further away, is actually what Spirit is saying. Meaning, you're going to meet new challenges as you get further. So it's not like, hey, you walk through this and then it's easy to share your story or to be in public or in the public eye is just what I'm feeling. So some of you might be putting yourselves out there for like jobs, if it's not your own personal thing. But I feel like your skills are on display. And again, I feel like if you put it out there, the generosity of Spirit is returned, maybe in the form of money, in the form of people supporting you, donating to you, sharing your work, appreciating it in some other way, right? Money appreciates and we appreciate people. Put your money where your mouth is. And, well, let me say it like this. Put your pentacles where your mouth is. And your pentacles are not just your money, your effort, your time, your energy, your resources, earthly resources, what you have and can take and can meld. And meld is the right word because there are some people around you who can help you with this. That's what the Three of Pentacles is. There may be people whose expertise will help you get along further and faster, whether that's people you're listening to on YouTube, whether that's people in real life that you're like, hey, let's get together and talk about this, or hey, let's make a podcast, let's make a channel, let's do a healing circle. Like, they're telling me a lot of things, okay? Collaborate, and that will get you further faster too. And it's also another way of facing your fear and saying to another person, like, I'm doing this. Be the fool, Aries. One of your great gifts is to be the first one on the proverbial dance floor. And we like your moves. Spirit's real excited. What moves you making, Aries? Let me know. Questions, stories, comments. I love to hear them, and I try to get down there and give some advice myself. So I appreciate you sharing with me, and I hope that this is really helpful for you. I want to wish you a super happy January, a super fucking wonderful and edifying 2020. Stay tuned. More to come. Love, love, love you, Aries. See you next time. Bye-bye.